Yeah, on cabinet doors, there's 3 different adjustments basically for the cabinet doors. These screws right here, 1 and 2, these are our height adjustment screws. This one is our pivot screw, and this one is our set screw. You can see how this is sticking out here. First thing here is the hinge. The front hinge needs to go under the plate. So this part is the set screw. The back screw is the set screw. The second screw is the pivot screw. This screw here. And this needs to go underneath the plate. It slides in, so. Someone didn't really understand this here when they set this up. Okay, so now this gets slid onto the pivot screw, and then the set screw goes underneath the plate. So we're underneath the plate here, and then what we want to do is tighten the set screw so it's just a little bit, not directly all the way pushed in. The set screw allows you to position the distance from the face of the cabinet to the door. Up top here, also the same thing. This one is not set properly, so I'm going to need to release it and then get the set screw so that it's underneath. Let's do it here how it should be. There we go. Now we can tighten the set screw on. Again, the set screw will adjust the distance of the cabinet from the face. Okay, so now here you can see we've got a little bit of a lip here. So we're going to want to adjust that set screw so that it pushes the lip in. And again, we usually don't want it to set all the way in. But this one's going to be pretty close in order to get rid of that lip. Okay. That's pretty good there. Okay. Now the pivot screws here, that's this screw here, adjusts the pivot of the door so how it'll line up against the other door. And you can see how this one is out too far. So what we're going to need to do is just the pivot on both sides in order to draw the door back towards this side of the cabinet. So we're going to loosen this screw, and that's going to pull the back in, as well as up here. And that's going to pull the back of the cabinet. And now we can test and see how we're doing. There we go. So if we needed to, we can adjust the pivot. Now you can see how this is kind of too low here. So now we can adjust the pivot of this side right here. By raising the pivot, we should be able to move this front forward a little bit. And that's pretty good. But now you can see how there's a gap here. The third adjustment for the door is the height of the door. And we can lower it or raise it up the entire height of the door. And the way we do that is by loosening all 4 screws. These 2, and this is the height adjustment for the doors. And then up here. And now what we're going to do is lift the door all the way up and then tighten these down. Obviously, if we had to lower it, we do the opposite. This gives us a degree of adjustment in order to adjust the height of the door. Okay, so now you can see how this lines up. as it should. Now we can adjust the pivot a tiny bit on this one here, right here, and this is the pivot screw. Okay, I'm going to re-loosen that and instead go with this door instead and pivot this over and test it out here. Loosen that a tiny bit. Okay, and we're good there. Everything's nice and even there. Everything's raised how it should be. So we're good to go. So just a quick recap. These screws right here, 1 and 2, these are our height adjustment screws. This one is our pivot screw, and this one is our set screw. That's how you can adjust cabinet doors. 3 different ways to adjust cabinet doors. Good to go.